guys, this is a knife that I really didn't think much about because I'd seen other versions of it. But once I got this, I'm absolutely in love with it. So let's turn this around and take a look at this awesome, awesome knife from Cjrb. Guys, I should have gotten this so much sooner. That's a theme you're going to hear on the channel a lot. This is the best pyrite they've made. This is the Cjrb pyrite, but it's done in a clip point or buoy fashion. It's a very dramatic one. So I've had this here for a while, but it got lost. So this is basically the first I've been carrying it, and I love it. This thing, not only is it just as good as the other pyrites, but it's definitely the most striking. So what do we got here? Well, you got an ARR PM9 blade that is done in this beautiful buoy style or clip point, very, very dramatic clip point on this. You've got a titanium and micarta handles on this with a lot of weight reduction in there. So this knife is not all that heavy. It's really, really easy to carry. Thumb stud deployment on this is great, just like the other pyrites. And this has got this big fuller on this. Oh, I got my finger up against the thumb stud there, but you can deploy right off of that fuller, and it is great, great, great. The action on it, super, super good, comfortable in hand. This is more comfortable than the other pyrites, and I still have a couple versions of the pyrite. I think I have the black one, I have the Warncliffe, and I have the all titanium pyrite. And I think this one's the most comfortable because there's just something about micarta that gives it this softened feel, and it's a little more contoured than the other ones that we've had on the channel. The titanium is beautifully, beautifully done with this really, really fine bead blast. It does have full steel liners on this, but like I said, a lot of weight reduction on it, and it's got that nice neutral balance. The blade is ground nicely down to a very decent behind the edge thickness, which with I don't see any inconsistencies in the grind at all. Stonewash finish on the blade, beautifully done. And then you've got this nice, really, really attractive swedge that's on this that comes down and gives you those facets on the blade. The fuller, even though the fuller is rounded, you can definitely flick off of it because the button lock action on it is really, really smooth. Just about the perfect amount of detent for a button lock. And you've got this awesome pocket clip on this that is that titanium pocket clip that you can get as an aftermarket on a lot of their knives, but it's on here the way it came from the factory. Now, I didn't buy this. This came from a subscriber. This did not come from the company. So before anybody thinks that I'm being unbiased or being biased because I got a free knife, you guys know that's not the case. It's just a really attractive look on this. They have several versions of this that are available. One of the things that I really like about this little hump here, I don't know why that just feels so good. It doesn't really present as it being that big of a feature, but that little bend, that little hump right there, your thumb just falls in and it's just a natural feel. And it's not like it's a ramp that stops you, but you can feel where your hand is, and then you can choke all the way up on this with this choil and get on it, and it is so comfortable. And then you've got a lot of flat and a little bit of belly. Now, I did strop this. You can see here, I gave it a quick strop on some 9 micron that I got from Lace. I got from Lacey over EDC and Lace. So she's got some really good stropping compound. I had cut a bunch of cardboard and stuff, and I was like, let me just strop it. And you can see it's got almost a little micro bevel on it now. I'm probably going to wind up sharpening this before I send it back to its owner, because it's been used. But yeah, great, great knife so far. I'm really impressed with how it feels in hand, how it carries. And like I said, I love the balance on it with that neutral balance that you didn't get on some of the other pyrites. And I think it's because of the micarta doing some extra weight reduction back here in the tail. I like that really, really good, like middle of the knife neutral balance, or a little bit tip heavy. But just like every other knife in the knife world, there are some issues with it that I'm going to have to point out. And they're not like game stoppers or anything. So let's go ahead and flip this around. Flip side of the story, flip side of the knife. So nothing horrible on it that I've found so far. I did notice something while I was reviewing footage. There is a little bit of a misgrind on one side of this. Here, there's just a little low spot, and it could be a little parallax. It doesn't look so bad, but there's like a little bit of a parallax here. But one of the other ones, it could be coming from the fact the swedge is inconsistent. So the edge might not be inconsistent, might just be amount of material that was moved from side to side. It's just giving it an appearance. So I'm really picky about grinds. Having been a knife maker, when you do a swedge, it should marry up. Next thing, there is a little bit of stick in the button on this one. Now you can take care of that by putting the stick is usually in the pocket, not in this area. Typically, because you've got the extra tension on it being further down, the stick is in the pocket. So I may take this apart and put a little bit of grease down in the pocket. That usually does take care of it. But when you first snap it open, it definitely has a little bit of a stick. It's not horrible. It's not game changing. It's not an ender. The next thing on it, these screws. I don't like the way the screws stand up proud. They're not really a hot spot, but you definitely are aware of them when you're bearing down and cutting. So like I always tell you guys, I cut a bunch of different materials. So I usually cut a little bit of hardwood, some dowel rods. And when you bear down on it, you can feel them. You can feel them. And then you can see here the next issue as I've got it in hand. This is another one of those knives that just by the size of it, it has everything to do with the size of the knife, size of my hands. If you got big hands, the knife kind of wants to roll in your hand out of the cut and not present the edge directly to the cut the way you want. And you kind of have to adjust. When you get it in that forward grip and you get up in that choil, not a big deal at all. No problems there. And then the final thing. Oh, no, it's not the final thing. I'm sorry. The jimping is really, really soft. And sorry, my camera cut out. That's the thing with a lot of the Cjrb knives. I think it has to do with their finishing process where the stone wash gets done after the blade, which I understand is a cost saving measure, but if it's going to be soft like that, just don't do it. Just don't do the jimping because it's just worthless. That does nothing. It maybe gives you some indexing, so you know where your thumb's at on the blade, but really it doesn't do anything functionally. And then the final thing, you guys know I hate it. This is a really attractive knife. Cjrb was a company that did a lot of knives with a lanyard post. There's no reason they couldn't have done it on this. Why is there a big ugly hole in this knife when it is so striking and attractive? Other than that, like it's just really a good all-around knife. So is it a yup or a nah? On this first impressions, first day or two of carry, it's a yup. Yeah, it's definitely a good knife. This is probably one of the best Cjrb knives out there. The Echo, I have this one out just because the Echo is my pick for like knife of the year a couple years ago. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Echo because I really do love the Echo, especially in this configuration, but it's definitely up there. So yeah, if you want to pick one up, like I'm sure I put a thing down, there'll be a link down below. These aren't that expensive. So guys, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, send you out about your day. So yeah, guys, like I've said before, the Pyrite is, and I think I said it in the body of the video, the Pyrite is like the flagship model for Cjrb. It really just, they knocked it out of the park with it. And with this one being so striking, I think this is just the best one they've done. I absolutely love this. The button lock on it's great, just like I said in the video. So with that being said, guys, you know how to support the video. I said it in there. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. Best things you can do. Memberships are down below. You can support the channel that way. But I also have got a ton of affiliate links down below. 2 of those links have got discounts built into them. Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trail. You've heard me talk about those before. Great, great companies. 10% off with that. Speaking of 10% off, I also have a coupon code that will save you 10% at Fair & Forge Knife Works, Rosecraft Blades, and KATSU Knives. You can use it any one of those, and it absolutely supports the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Matter of fact, it saves you. The Amazon store and all the affiliate links down below don't cost you anything extra either. Take that Amazon link, put it in your browser, pin it to it, use it as your portal into Amazon. Guys, that's it on this one. There's also memberships down below and a public Discord that you can join. That's it on this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.